we are assembling the jack-o'-lantern envelope box card. So I've got everything laid out and ready to get started on. So I'm just going to start by putting these panels on. On each one of these pieces there is a slight border around the piece, so you just want to eyeball that and try to make that as even as you can. Before I start on these, I am going to attach these two pieces together. These two pieces with the end piece that's 1.5 inches wide. This makes up the back and the front of your card. So I'm going to attach these together so I make sure that I'm gluing my panels on the right side. Too many times I make a mistake and glue something on the inside that's supposed to be on the back or vice versa. So by gluing it together to start with, I can make sure that I'm putting my pieces in the correct spot. So this bigger piece here, this is the back, and for that there is a frame and a panel piece for your sentiment if you want to add that. Really with this light yellow I wouldn't really need it, but I am going to go ahead and put it on. So these are mostly for when you're using dark paper and you can't write on the back because it wouldn't show. Okay, and these are your side panels. So you can see all these panel pieces have star cutouts in them, which is why I've gone with a yellow background this time. I think I just heard somebody open the door, so if you hear somebody walking through, it's because but I think they heard me talking, and it's not as straight as I would like it. Maybe I'll just leave it. Nah, I'm gonna fix it. Hang on. That's the nice thing about using these thinner layers of glue. You can pull something right back off. Now once it dries, you're not getting it off. But if you just immediately see that you don't like how you've laid a piece down and you're only using a thin layer of glue, you can pull that right back up. Okay, and then this is my other side panel. There we are. Now this piece that I did first, this glues right on top here, and you just want to line it up to the bottom of the card, just like that. Okay. If you wanted to go ahead and put on these little pieces of candy, you could do those now. They're just going to glue here on the edge of the envelope. Oopsie. You just want to make sure you don't get it over your edges here. And I do have foam tape on the back of this one. These little foam squares I get at the Dollar Tree. I probably should have put it on the envelope first. I want to make sure to put it low enough so that the sticky part is not hanging over. Then we're going to flip it over. And I'm going to glue this to the inside. Okay. There we are. Now we can set this aside for a minute and work on the inserts. I really need to clean the glue off my mat. I apologize for that. What a mess. And I had decided to pop these little ghosts so they have some foam tape on them. So this is the back insert. Ghosts are the back insert. And then we have our pumpkin. And I also decided to pop him up a little with some foam dots. I put a little bit of ink here on the yellow, and I don't really like how it turned out, but because I thought it would make it look more like it was glowing. And then this layer is also popped up. So you just glue this orange right onto the yellow. That's your glowing inside your jack-o'-lantern. And then you're just gonna center that on your pumpkin here. And this insert is brown because it makes up the stem of the pumpkin. Okay, and this is your front insert. So now let's pull this over and take a look at it. We're going to glue this insert here to this side, I'm just going to stand it up so everything's level across the bottom. And I'm going to put glue on the tab in a minute, but I always like to look at my fit first. I'm going to put glue and then just going to push it down right here on the side. So let's put glue on the tab. I'm going to stand everything up again. And you've got your flaps out flat. And line those up against the bottom and push them right there in that fold for the side. And push this down. Just apply some pressure here to get that to stick. And you'll see now this is stuck here to your side. Pushing it again to make sure it's stuck well. And now I'm going to put glue on this tab. I'm going to do pretty much the same thing, except for this time it's going to be up against this layer. So we're just going to fold that in and glue that in place. And since I've got some dimension on this with the foam tape, you just got to make sure that it's straight, because that foam tape does affect it a little. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to put glue on these two tabs. I'm going to bring this side over and I'm just going to lay it down right on those flaps. It'll be glued into place. So this time you want to be careful not to get too close to your score line. I mean, you want to get close to it, but you don't want to get close enough that the glue will seep over it, because that will affect the opening and closing of your card. So I'm just going to rub this for a few seconds longer, mostly because the foam tape here is keeping everything from being flat. Then I'm going to bring this over and fold that in place. So now that's here on the sides where it's supposed to be. Then I'm going to put glue on this tab. You just got to get it tucked in there. Fold it both ways. And there is the jack-o'-lantern envelope box card. Thank you for joining me.